Everybody, this is Mark Newgent, candidate for Irvine School Board. How you guys doing this morning? How's everybody doing? I apologize, usually I'm in a suit and tie, but today I will be running around campaigning. So first and foremost, I'm wondering why I do live. I'm doing live because first and foremost, I love people, and I have literally thousands of videos out there, thousands of hours. You guys will see it. I do this because you can fake photos, you can fake mailers, you could fake a YouTube video, quite easy. You can even fake a scripted debate or forum. You cannot script live. So you guys can ask me questions live and get my honest to goodness response. This is my fourth and final video this morning. A little parched. I'm gonna give you guys my intro speech from the Chinese Cultural Forum. And then I will wait for people to hop on. If this is the first time you're ever seeing me live, or you're thinking worry about who to vote for, and you're wondering why, well, I'm going to go ahead and give my intro speech and tell you a little bit about me. And again, ask a question if you'd like to know. This is live. So, hello, my name is Mark Nugent. My background is 20 years, U.S. Army, military police, captain, commander, anti-terrorism officer, security advisor for the Pacific region. Most importantly, I'm a father of a child that attends Irvine schools. I grew up in a very poor area of Northern California. Most of the time, my brothers and I lacked basic necessities, such as electricity, transportation to school, telephone, food, and clothing. At 16, I found myself alone and homeless. Thankfully, with the help of my high school teachers and my principal, I was able to graduate high school and start a new life in the Army when I was 17 years old. My family and I moved here to Irvine a little over a year ago, but when we arrived, we came here for the good schools, but when I arrived, I noticed some issues and immediately got involved. At 38, I am the youngest candidate, and I have already accomplished all of my professional goals in this life. Earning my college degree, making the rank of captain, serving as a military commander, and earning my 20-year military retirement. This gives me the estimated time of 20 hours a week to serve on the board. My wife Tanya is of Chinese descent, but grew up in the Philippines. She and my two children, Maverick and Savannah, understand my commitment not only to our family, but to the Irvine community. The Irvine School Board should not be looked at as a social club. It must have leaders with strength, resolve, and courage who are able to make tough decisions. Serving as a commander of a large military unit with many life and death decisions that must be made quickly has prepared me to serve on the board. Luckily, as an Irvine School Board member, I will have time to reflect, study, and seek out public and expert opinion on every big decision. The first time I deployed, I was 21 years old. I threw a rifle over my shoulder and boarded a plane to go to combat in a place I never heard, for people I never heard of, I didn't even know. Just imagine how hard I worked for my own children, my friends, and my community. I've served our country for the past 20 years. Let me serve Irvine for the next 4. This November, remember, vote Mark Nugent for Irvine School Board. With that being said, I'll open it up to questions, and I'll sit here and talk. So anyway, that is what I a couple weeks ago at the Chinese Cultural Center Forum, and I believe there is one more forum for the University High School, which I believe I'll be speaking. Yeah, I'll be speaking there. But that one is just for the kids. It's not going to be really voters there. Some high school kids are 18 can vote. They actually, the Sword and Shield, I think, they contacted me. They want to talk about my live broadcasting, which is great. You guys also may have seen some of my acting reels. Yes, I'm an actor and stand-up comedian. I actually just posted one, which I just only recently posted because I was so focused on other things. I didn't realize how much to tell you guys. I forgot to tell you guys how much I support the arts, being an actor and stand-up comedian. One of the things in high school that went good for me was I did drama. I did plays, I did acting, and it built confidence. It really did help me. So, and I like acting and stand-up comedy. It's fun to do, right? So I posted that video, and I was acting with Miss Teen Arizona, this past year. And it was interesting. I posted that one because, I played her father, a governor, in that clip. So that was interesting. It wasn't my best material, but it was kind of interesting that I played a politician and then now kind of am in politics. So that's that. So, excuse me. I think I spent. This is my 4th video, talking. So, excuse me if it's not quite as interesting as the other one. I just did one on Periscope. This is my 3rd one. Just one on Periscope and then my campaign page, and now here. Usually I do this one the longest because we'll have the most interaction. I think we're up to like 2,000 friends now. So if you have a question, feel free to ask me. Fortunately, I think most people are at work right now. Before work or, of course, during lunch break or in the evening, we get a lot more interaction. And again, I'll be knocking on doors 12 hours a day. And we're giving out these things, and I'll be talking to people. My rivals may outspend me, but I can outwork. I have the time and the youth and the health. I am very thankful to be so healthy as well. And actually, speaking of health, some kids out. My daughter asked me the other day, she's like, why are you so healthy? And it's like, well, because I was poor. I never had soda. Growing up, when you're poor, you choose between food and soda. You're going to pick food. So I never drank soda really ever growing up. If you ever went out to eat, we would never ever order soda. That's a waste of a couple dollars, right? You get the food. You only have $2 to eat, so you get the food and just drink water for free at any restaurant. So to this day, I will drink mostly water and coffee. I admit I do like coffee. So anyway, isn't that interesting that poverty made me healthier, mentally and physically? How's that, right? Because when you go through some heartaches, or some adversity, it makes you stronger. So anyway, guys, if you guys want to ask a question, hit me up. This is live. You can excuse me. If you ask someone a question live, you kind of have the feeling if they're telling you the truth or not, and how honest they'll be if they start tap dancing. On that note, I'll tell you something happening at the Chinese Cultural Center Forum. They asked, one of the last questions was like, what makes you unique to implement and improve science programs? It was a very technical question. I was like, oh wow, this is a hard one, and I don't have a science degree. I have a degree in management and leadership and experience in that field. Because not everybody can be an expert in every field, right? But some people try to act like they pretend, right? So it came to me, like the second or third person. Hey, thanks for thumbs up. This is my answer when they asked me that uniqueness about science and technology and stuff, or not technology, science. And I simply said, I know what I don't know. I will listen and trust these science experts and parents and listen to their recommendations. That was my answer. And people after the forum said, we like your honesty. And I was like, well, in the military, if you pretend like you know everything, people think you're stupid real quick. Because there's no way in the military you know everything. There's no way. I had hundreds of soldiers. I was a commander. No way my guys knew a lot more than me. I was just in charge of steering the ship, I had maintenance experts, I had this expert and that expert, and I trusted them, and we got through it. We have pilots, we have cooks, we have doctors in the military. Nobody can know everything. Just like on the board we have 5 different people that serve on the board. They all have different expertises. So you should be like kind of weird if someone's like, I don't know about this. You try to act like you know everything. But on that question, there was actually somebody, which I do like. She answered the question because she does have a science background. She has math and science. So I was like, yeah, it's a good person. That was pretty cool. And some of them actually, like in other forums, they were like, oh, well, I'm not a expert in security. You should ask Mark. And I thought it was pretty cool, their honesty as well. So anyway, I will keep this going for a couple more minutes. I usually got more interaction than this. Well, thanks for the thumbs up. Why don't you, who knows where you're at? You might be in your car or at home. But you can type a question and I will answer the best I can, the best of my ability. Because you can fake photos, you can fake a video, you cannot fake live, and you absolutely love live. And I will do this all day if you guys like. They say the worst thing to do on a live broadcast, like all the experts, is stop talking or nobody shows up. But I can talk pretty long-winded, and got good at the speeches too. Oh, so anyway, we had our fundraiser 2 nights ago. It was a lot of fun. Hey, what's up, Darian Johnson? How are you doing? Welcome. If you're just watching this on replay, it only has me from here. You guys don't see the comments on YouTube. So Darian Johnson just joined us, so I said hello. Usually when I do these, because I do post them everywhere, there's like thousands of videos everywhere, I try to read the comments as they come so you guys know what I'm talking about. So, however, we've not got any questions yet, which is interesting. But I guess it just depends on the time of day, because I've had some videos where we had like 30 people in here and we had like hundreds and hundreds of comments. I had Matthew Ehorn on the other day. We had a lot. The other day I did meet. Good. Darian Johnson says, "How are you, Mark? Good day." I'm good. How are you doing? So actually I met with Shiva the other day. Oh, back to the party. So our fundraiser a couple nights ago, and I want to say thank you to people that donated. I really appreciate the money. It does help because these campaigns are expensive and I'm not working. I am 100% focused on the campaign. So it's like, you're spending all your money and you're working full time in the campaign. So it's tough, but it's very rewarding, and it's not that bad. So anyway, the fundraiser, it was good. We had Cooper Lee, a comedian and an MC host. And then we had the Captain Shelley Carey from the U.S. Army. He showed up and he did his bit. And then we had the main event, which was our magician, our comedic magician, which was pretty cool. He made, he had someone sign a $20 bill and he made it appear inside of an orange. I mean, I was like, we've seen the tricks and stuff, and like Jay Mills, you could see his eyes. He's like, "Is that your $20 bill?" And he's like, "What?" And I mean, I'm sure there's some trick, a sleight of hand, but I was like, wow, that looked really good. It was very impressive. My son, you can see a picture of him. He's just like, "Oh my God, how'd you do that?" My son, he was the only kid at the fundraiser. He just loved that magician, and his name is Matt Price. I should have tagged him on here, but he's on my Facebook. He will do more events here in Irvine if you want. A good guy. He's only a 22-year-old kid, but very gifted performer. And I told him, I said, "Hey, once you make it, you got to give me some more acting gigs." So hopefully I will get some more acting gigs. I hope after the election I pick up some more hobby acting stuff. On that note, I was in a TV show last month, by the way. I was in a black comedy, and I played the token white police officer. And I thought I wasn't going to have any lines until I showed up to filming. And they're just ad-lib, and I was like, what? You guys could have told me I was going to speak maybe yesterday so I could have rehearsed, but I had like 5 minutes to learn lines, and I was like, man, I wish the performance would have been better. But it was still fun to be on TV, and it was really stressful. Like, I knew I was going to go on. There's like 50 people there. They have all these lights and cameras everywhere, and everyone's not a sound. And all these guys are holding everything, and this big boom mic. It's like, just like you think. There's microphones everywhere, and yeah. But it was a good experience, and they always have good food when you're filming, so not a bad thing. It's awesome. So anyway, Darian Johnson, do you have any questions of me as a candidate, or just as me as a friend? Anything? Please go ahead and ask. Why? Nothing? I see one person still watching. You're still like, let's keep watching this guy. Also, gotta go ahead and start thanking some people. So thank you, Miles, for speaking at my event. Thank you, Sarah, for always supporting. Thank you, Jay Mills. Thank you, Jackie Woods. Thank you, Jim Kurga. Thank you, I'm just go down the list of all the people there. Cooper, my wife Tanya, her friend Beatrice, her husband. Thank you, Will Gray, for supporting me. Thank you, for being there. Thank you, Mary, my friend and teacher. That's my biggest supporter. Thank you so much. And this is where's Mary? I'll show you a picture of Mary. She is an Irvine teacher. This is Mary right here. She's an Irvine teacher. And she says it's okay. So she's like, all right, you can send my picture to everybody. I was like, all right. I actually have a bunch of other retired teachers as well helping me. So it's very humbling that all these people come out of nowhere to support me. Again, I don't have any political ties to this city. I didn't grow up here. I'm a person that made this my home. My family and I moved here a little over a year ago, and we're doing the best we can to make our city better for our children. So, because my children might stay here and grow up here. Who knows what's going to happen? But I'm going to do the best I can. Once I get in there, I will attend every meeting. My phone number, my phone number is 949-529-0497. You guys can call me anytime you want. It's on all of my materials. I'm very available. Again, I'm retiring from the military, so I have all the time to do this. So I will be here to support you guys in the community. And if you're a single mom, you have a couple of kids, and you have an issue with the schools, you can't make the meetings. It's hard. So you can call me and other board members, and I will be responsive. I can't speak for others, but I can speak for myself. I will always get back to you immediately. I have like my phone, like it's sewed to my hand, right? So if anyone texts me, email me, Facebook sends me a message, I respond very quickly to everything. So that's that. I just wanted to say also I'm humbled at all the donations. Just before I started this broadcast, I got a few emails, donations came in. Thank you so much. It means a lot. I have getting donations people I don't even know online, and I'm just like, wow, thank you so much. And I've been trying to I'll call you guys. If you donate, you'll get a call from me, usually immediately, and I'll just call to thank you. And I just really appreciate that. And people are looking at me like, who's this guy talking to? I was doing a Periscope earlier, I was doing my intro speech, and she's like, oh, I'll vote for you. It was so cool. So, it's just been an awesome experience. It's bittersweet ending. There's only 12 days left in the campaign, but I really enjoy out and talking to people and trying to make a difference, people's lives. Believe it or not, it's rewarding intrinsically. Yesterday I was door knocking, and I met a nice lady, Elaine, a special needs parent of an 11-year-old, and unfortunately she had an accident as well. So she said it's hard for her to focus on things. So she felt even more frustrated and disenfranchised. And I was like, well, here's my information. You can call me. I will be your moral support. I have the time. I was in Woodbridge, right down the street from where I work. I said, I'll be here to help best I can. I can't make too many promises because I'm just a human being as well. But I'll do my best. And she says, okay, I'll tell everybody to vote for you. So that was pretty cool. But I get a lot of stories like that of people reaching out and saying no one's ever listened before. I was like, that's me. I don't like bullies. I don't like bullies that are adults. Because there are bullies that are adults, we know that. You got my vote. Darian Johnson says, you got my vote, Mark. Godspeed and victory. Thank you, Darian. The victory party is tentatively 15 November at Keller Williams. And I know there's going to be a conflict in that because I was just at the Special Education Forum last night. Yes, I was at the Special Education Forum last night with the director and special needs parents. A lot of them have kids with autism. And I met with them, and they want me to speak the 15th of November. So I don't know how I'm gonna to figure that out. Maybe I can go speak like 6:30, 6:45 or something with those parents, and then make the victory thing, because we already have the venue booked at Keller Williams Real Estate. Keller Williams Realty at the corner of Bronca and Culver is where we're gonna have our victory party the 15th of November. Of course, we need the victory, so we're right there. I don't have any polling. I have no idea how we're doing. Just based on a bunch of emails, a bunch of Facebook messages that, hey, I voted for you, hey, I voted for you. And I'm touched that even Democrats are voting for Republicans. It's across party lines. They're like, man, we're good. A lot of it is like, I have no political ties to anybody. It's just, this is really me. What you see is what you get, and people like, this one, I won't mention it, but this one blogger, he wrote a story about all of us, which was very very good for me. And he put it in there that I don't have any political ties. So a lot of people that have been here for many, many, many years in politics go, wow, that's pretty refreshing to have somebody new, isn't it? I think okay. Sorry, I try not to touch my face too much. And I was a little emotional when I talked about bullies, so it kind of hits a heartstring because bullies come in very many shapes and sizes, and a bully could be just a regulation or a climate. Like, we had a kid the other day that got denied food, a 6-year-old, and the mother gave me permission to talk about it. So her name, well, not to say the kid's name, but the mom, Lauren, her 6-year-old was denied lunch. So she went home hungry, which hurts for me because many times the only time I ate was that free lunch at school. So that gets emotional for me really quick. And I'm talking to the parents. I find that they're struggling. Husband and wife just lost their job. They live in Woodbridge, but everything isn't as, they're not rich like you would think. They're just struggling parents trying to make this way. And they're already on reduced lunch for their kids. And that poor little kid, that 6-year-old, went home hungry. Why? Is it because that cafeteria worker just didn't want to feed kids? Probably not. That cafeteria worker was probably worried about losing their job. So in this case, in that story, the bully is the regulation, it's the climate. Bullied that 6-year-old. It wasn't an individual person. It was a lack of leadership to say, hey, no, you err on the side of feeding kids, period. You don't turn them away. because I guarantee you they're throwing away food. Anyone who's worked in the restaurant industry knows they're throwing away food after they're denying kids food. That's messed up, man. So one of the ideas I have, not a solution yet, once I get in there we'll have some more solutions, but is do a fundraiser to put money in the hands of every principal to say, here, this is some money in case a kid doesn't have any money to eat. You buy them lunch, period. You know, and we have to figure this out. Because if kids are hungry, obviously they're not going to be learning, will they? I remember so many times, 11 a.m., I remember watching the clock, so hungry. Every day at school, I remember 6th grade. And if my 6th grade people actually, they watch this, I remember sitting in class, Mr. Magdalena's class, starving like 11 o'clock because I never eat except for that free lunch at noon. It's 11:20, I'm sitting there watching the clock because we need to go to lunch. I'm so hungry. It's not a way to live. It's not a way the kids should be in class. Excuse me. So, that being said, those are things we could fix. And once we talk about them, we can address, once we admit there's a problem, we can fix the problem. So yes, there is a problem with that. Also, I talked to my friend Urania's kids, the 15-year-olds, to go to high school, and said, yeah, they turn away lunches there too. And I was like, yeah, 15, 16-year-olds less vulnerable than a 6-year-old, but it's quite embarrassing for a high school kid not to be poor. I was extremely embarrassed about being poor when I was a kid. I mean, now I wear it as a badge of honor because I know the adversity and the strength it gives me. But at the time, wearing not dirty, old clothes. Oh, thank you, Kim. Appreciate it. But, you know, it sucks when you're in high school and you're having new clothes and you have to wear old clothes, ratty stuff, no food. Your friends can't even call you because you don't have a phone. This is back when nobody had cell phones. They had landlines, right? In the 90s. No phone, I couldn't have friends over because no electricity most of the time. Serious. It sucks. Now, comparing that to where my wife grew up, where like the whole country's poor, so everyone's on the same boat. But I live in like this really poor area, right next to a wealthy area. So we had kids and growing up in Mercedes and BMWs and had everything they ever wanted. And you're just sitting there like, man, this kind of sucks. But it is what it is. But I think those lessons now are helping the whole community here, right? So I think once again, one of the ideas I have is a fundraiser. So make sure that there's like a reserve for money for lunch. I don't want any other kid to ever get turned away for food in Irvine again. We got some issues, like that. I couldn't believe that was an issue. I was surprised to hear that when I saw on Facebook, and like the school actually told the parents or the mother to keep it quiet. I was like, whoa, what? I'm going with what the mother tells me. That sounds really bad. And I was just shocked to find out a 6-year-old was denied food because I have a 6-year-old son. I would be very upset if he didn't get food. We'll focus on that in a moment. I have a very, very vivid memory I'll share with you guys. And I'll try to be least emotional as possible. When I was 7, 8 years old, we were always hungry, right? My mother, she took us to Albertsons in North Highlands, and she stacked the cart of all sorts of food. I remember it was a white grocery cart, plastic, Albertsons with a blue logo. Never forget this, clear as day. And I remember looking at this whole cart, and it's just packed, right? It felt like it was Christmas. And she was going to bounce a check. We all knew. I was 7 years old. I knew my mother was going to bounce a check to get us food. She was going to do what she had to do. But they called the bank to check if she had money in the bank account because they kind of knew who we were. And they said, sorry. And those baggers and stuff, they felt bad for us, But they had to take that whole cart of food away from us. And I could not understand. I could not understand why we were not going to be able to eat that day. When we went around the grocery store in Albertsons, all the food we ever wanted, we put it in the grocery cart, and we could not take it home. Now, I have money. I can go buy whatever I need at the grocery store. And the other day, I hadn't thought about that memory in a long time. And I'm sitting there in the checkout, Ralph's here at Woodbury, and I'm thinking I could buy whatever I want. It's like, wow. And I was looking at the register, I was like, wow, this, man, what a life. So, something we can fix is that hunger. I cannot believe it's happening in Irvine. But anyway, back to that story. I'm just trying to get my mind off it. I remember it clear as day. I hadn't thought about that in so many years. Like, I forgot about that until I started running here and I started telling people about my life and who I am. That's something will hold with you forever, you know. And then another one I want to forget is fighting over food with my brother. Hi, Elizabeth Malmonte just joined us. Welcome. When I remember not having enough food and being home alone with my brother and having to fight with him over food. That's not something brothers should be doing, you know? Over a 2-cent hot dog. Remember that one. There's things when we look back at our lives that stand out. So anyway, that's that. And those are issues we can fix right away. So once we get in there, first thing I want to do is a fundraiser. I will talk to all you guys. We'll figure it out. Maybe you don't have to have a fundraiser. I don't know. But I think definitely the goal is giving a little bit of money to each school, specifically to the cafeterias, so that, you know, there's some kind of emergency reserve if a kid shows up without their money or without their punch card or whatever it is, or their account number. Because I know my son has one of those account numbers at his school. And I'll tell you about my punch card. I remember I used to have this little red punch card in high school. The junior high and high school was the free lunch program, right? This little red card. It's about yay big. Just a little card. I remember we used to punch all around it. That was one thing I kept close. What was that thing? If you guys ever go out to eat with me, you'll notice it's really hard for me to throw food away to this day. Because when you're a little kid and you're starving, you don't know when you're going to eat again. So, I remember that. I was going to talk about that in my speech, but I thought that was too emotional when I was at my fundraiser the other day. You know, and I go from a starving little kid to someone that can put on a fundraiser and throw $1,000 down and be like, you know, I want to buy everyone dinner. That's it's pretty good for me. I like that. That was a good time. I'm glad my friends came out and support me. And some people I never met before showed up, which I think is amazing. And some people have donated, and I just want to say thank you. So, I'm not sure how long I've been talking, but not many people are commenting. It said 3 people are still watching. So, sorry to be sniffling, but trying to not get emotional. But, and I got to get back into campaigning. It's already 10 o'clock in the morning. I actually, I got the finance manager, actually, got to file reports. We have to file monthly reports for our campaign. There's one thing do not mess up is campaign finances. And just to let you know, if you do donate, I cannot touch the money. I'm the one person that cannot touch any money. I decide where it gets spent, like in marketing, but you can go to jail if you mess that up. That's why I have a professional campaign finance manager. I hired a professional for that. You know, I'll mess up a mailer or a button or whatever, you know, that's fine. But don't mess up the money. We're doing that perfect. Again, we don't have that much money, so it's not that big. I mean, it is a big deal. We don't mess up anything. So, excuse me, I apologize that I'm sniffling. I just got a little teary-eyed talking about that stuff when I was a kid. But, you know, I always like fighting for the little guy, and I will always fight for you and Irvine. Trust me on that one. Thank you, Elizabeth Monte. But I do believe in fighting for the little guy. I always will. You know, especially with all the special education autistic kids, or I don't know. I guess just get used to fighting for others in the military. Just used to it, and then just kind of an extension of that. You know, it's kind of still serving. You know, thankfully I got my retirement, so I'm never gonna be poor again. That's cool. That's good. And I'm never have to worry about that. So here I am. So anyway, if you guys want to help me out, you can help me out on social media if you don't have the time. So you can like and share my content. That would help the next 12 days. If you guys actually physically have the time, which Will Gray from 365 Title. Yeah, I know. My mom had 6 boys. She was married to a military guy, and they got divorced, and I was the youngest of the 6. And actually, believe it or not, my 3 oldest brothers, half Filipino, half white, and then she had me. But I was the youngest out of 6. So by the time I came along, I mean, she was hurting on her own, and she's passed away years ago. But I know the struggles, and then I've met some single moms here, and they're just working, and if they have something wrong with the schools, they have no advocate. Who they cannot make that meeting, the public meeting, to plead to the board. That's why I'm doing this live broadcast. They can sit home at their jobs wherever they're at, and they can log in. They can say, hey, this is messed up. My kid was denied food, or this happened, or there was an abuse, or something happened. Please look into it. I will. That's what it is. So, yeah, Irvine's a nice place, but it's not all rosy like everyone makes it out to be. We still have issues. We're still human beings that have issues that need to be resolved. And the first step at resolving issues, Kim, is communication. You got to talk about it. You got to talk. If there's a problem, you have to admit it and focus to fix that. And believe it or not, we will fix a lot of issues by simply communicating. We'll fix those small issues before they become big issues. We got some big issues, like the federal government owes us hundreds of millions of dollars. We'll work on those ones. That's one thing I need help with. I can't resolve, right? But there's a lot of little things we can fix, right? But yeah, in fact, Kim, as a mother of 3, you understand, how tough it is. Yeah. I mean, that's why I'm fighting so hard for mine. I don't get why any man would not be around his kids. I don't know. I would never, leave mine ever. I'm sitting here, stopping everything and retiring from the military just to do this. So, all for my little son Maverick and my daughter Savannah. So that's that. I'm sure I posted, you see pictures and videos of my kids. Yep. I don't get it. I came on when I used to go on a mission, or I've had a couple days off when I was overseas. One of my volunteers just texted me. So Kim says yes, absolutely. But yeah, I don't get it. Every time that I've been away from my kids, I miss them. Like, if I take a night off and go out with a friend or something, I I hope my kids are okay. That's all I can think about. When I was in missions overseas, most of the time it was always go. We didn't have much time down, but sometimes like a day off, and people go out, go to a restaurant, go out and stuff, kind of hang out, and I'm kind of like, and at the back of my head, I can't really, relax too much because I hope the kids are okay, and that's, my mind is out a lot. But it was on the mission, focused on the mission. I'm pretty good at that. Like when I was on military missions, I'd put everything out. I'd forget about everything other than what I was doing. But then when you have the downtime, and you're sitting there, and when socializing, mission's over, and you're like, oh, high fives, everything's great. You're like, man, I hope my kids are okay. And you guys, we're parents. That's how it is, right? Something changes in your brain when you hold your children for the first time. And I just took a photo. I just posted a photo a few days ago, which was the best photo. It was an awesome photo of my son standing outside of his school in front of my sign, and he looked so cute. And it's like, wow. I just remember the other day he was like this big. It's like, what happened? So anyway, I think I'm done rambling. I've been on for a while. I hope you guys got to know him a little bit. Also, that's that. I think about to wrap it up. If you guys have any questions, Joey just joined us. Joseph Allen Finro from Finro Real Estate just popped in, because if you're watching this, you're only watching this part right here. Watching that right there, right? Then right below is a comment section, because if this is posted on other forums, you might not see the comments. And also the comments are never synchronized, so you don't quite understand. Sometimes you might be missing what I'm saying or the interaction. So anyway, that's about all I have to say, I believe. Does anyone have any last words? I'm gonna go. I've got to mail out. I've got to overnight this to my finance person, my California mandatory financial reports, and I'm gonna go pass these out. So if you guys want to go with me, Joey or anyone else, if you want to go walk in the neighborhoods with me, I'll be out. You can text me. You can Facebook me. call me. I will be out talking for every day, probably 12 to 18 hours a day until election day. I'll be out either, I'll be on live, or I will be out walking around Woodbridge. I think my Stonegate, probably Woodbridge today. Finish up Woodbridge, and then maybe West Park or Stonegate. But who knows? Just call me and come on out. We can walk around the neighborhoods together. If you want to face-to-face with me, I'm really easy to get a hold of, or just face-to-face right here. Look at this. Just ask me questions. Be like, hey, what's your opinion on, Mustangs versus Camaros? You know what I mean? Which that's a tough one. I'm a car guy too. I'm looking at my old car that I'm driving down. I'm like, I could have got a new car, but instead I'm running for office. So I guess that was more of a priority than a new car. So anyway, I think that's about it. Thank you for joining me. This is Mark Newgent, candidate for Irvine School Board, talking to you for the last 20 to 30 minutes. Being as live and open, as honest as I possibly could be. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. You can message me. If I get a message from you and I'm not live, I will read it live and I will answer it. And I'll probably do some more live today and do as much live as I can. The bulk of my live is here. What I usually do is I go on my Facebook campaign page and I do a couple minutes there, and then I come over to this because this has a couple thousand people that follow this channel. So, and again, please like and share everything. Share all my videos. I really appreciate it. Get the word out. We have limited budget. So please, everyone, share the video. Get us a good audience, and for the cause, All right, and remember, mark your calendars. The victory party, 15th November. All right, guys. Take care. Bye.